Hi, hello mamas. Welcome to this prenatal class. We are together for 25 minutes. My name is Fanny, and today I wanted to show you some postures that are good, especially for your hips. So if you feel some tension and tightness in your hips, this will probably happen at some point of your pregnancy. So we will work on some poses that can help with that. And it's not only good for the hips, but it's also good, most of them, for the spine, especially the lower back, and also for the legs. So I hope this will be beneficial to you. Again, as usual, make sure to have some props with you. You want to have a block, 2 blocks, a blanket, if you have a cushion as well. That's always nice. Whatever helps you feel comfortable. And we will start by sitting in a cross-legged position. So you can place a block under the sit bones to elevate yourself a little bit. This way you allow your knees to be lower than your hips. And you can have your hands resting onto your lap for now. We're sitting nice and tall, allowing the eyes to be closed. Allowing yourself to be here. To be here on your mat. And also to be here in your body. Physical and spiritual body. So closing the eyes is actually helping you achieve that feeling of being here. It's helping you to notice the sensations coming from within, noticing any points of tightness and tension. Here in this pose, we try to create length, to create softness. So let's see if you can elongate the spine a little bit. And as you do so, you're creating some space in the chest. Let's see if you can find some softness in the shoulders, maybe rolling them a few times away from your ears. And let's find that length also in the neck, making sure there's no compression at the back of your neck. So you want to have your chin slightly in to keep the neck nice and long. And let's find that softness also in the face, relaxing your face. We're relaxing the space in between the eyebrows, relaxing the mouth as well. Lips are soft, tongue is soft as well, and you're unclenching the jaw. And here you can start to place your hands onto your belly, starting to breathe a little deeper, taking deep inhale through the nose, and a big exhale through the nose as well. We feel the air coming in and out through the nostrils. And you notice the movements of your belly. against your hands, rising as you inhale and falling down as you exhale. Maybe you're noticing other movements coming from inside. Noticing how this quiet breath is helping you calm your mind, calm your nervous system. Let's take 2 more rounds here. And last exhale, we start to open the eyes, releasing your hands back onto your lap. Reconnecting with our surroundings. From here, we're gonna remove the block, if you had one, under the sit bones, and we're moving towards our butterfly position. So for that one, you can use blocks, or you can also find an easier pose without blocks. So we're connecting the sole of the feet together, and you can have your heels either close towards you or a bit further away. See what's available. Of course, never overdo a pose. Just feel what feels alright, what feels comfortable. For some of you, it might be nice to have some blocks under the legs, under the knee. And then you can have your forearms forward. And you start to round the spine a little bit. Closing the eyes. For some of you, it might also be nice to have the blocks onto the feet. 1 or 2, depending on what's available. So you can rest your forehead onto your blocks. So see what feels better for you. It might also be that you want to keep your spine long and straight. That's also an option. Wherever you are, try to have your eyes closed, so you can fully connect to the sensations coming from within. So you can start to observe what's happening in the body. So maybe noticing that nice opening in your hips, that nice stretch in your inner legs. And if you're leaning forward, you might also notice how you're working on creating space in the spine, decompressing the lower back. And you're still breathing here in this pose, quiet breath. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose as well. We stay here for a few more rounds of breath. last inhale. And last exhale. And from there, we're slowly coming out of the pose, removing the blocks, putting them on your side. And then you're bringing your knees together, helping you with your hands. And you can have your hands down behind you, fingers pointing towards you. And you start to move your hips and knees from side to side, gazing over the opposite shoulder. And when you're ready, we move towards our tabletop position. So on our hands and knees. Might be that you want to have a blanket under the knees. Here, feel free to do so to make it a little bit more soft for your knees. And from there, we start to extend the right leg back. Your toes are tucked under. You're sending that right heel all the way back. We breathe here, pressing your hands onto the mat. You can tuck the left toes under. That can help with the balance. And you're going to need balance as you start to lift that right leg up and away from the mat. Toes pointing down. We breathe here, gentle engagement of the core muscles. And you start to bend that right leg. Sole of the foot looking up towards the sky. And we're going to start to bring some movement onto that right knee. So you're going to start to draw your circles. So it can be small circles, it can be big circles. See what's available. And try to remain stable, steady. We do that in one direction. And then we change directions. So noticing here how you start to activate the core muscles, activate the legs as well, and open the right hip. One last circle, and then we release down. So we take a moment here in between both sides to move a little bit, so gazing towards the right foot, and then gazing towards the left foot. If that feels good for you to do anything else, then maybe moving towards your child's pose or doing anything that feels good. And we're then going to get ready for the other side. So we meet again in our tabletop. Sending the left leg back, tuck toes under, toes tucked under. You're sending that left heel all the way back, feeling that stretch at the back of your left leg. Find balance here. Again, option to tuck the right toes under, and we start to lift that left leg up, keeping your hips squared at that point. And then we're bending the left leg. And then we start to draw our circles. Doing that in one direction, there's no rush. Doing it at your own pace. And then we change directions. Keep on breathing here, making sure you're not holding the breath at any time. And one last circle, and we release down. Again, doing any movement that feels good for you at this point. For me, it's child's pose. For you, it might be something different. Just listen to your body. And we are meeting again in our tabletop. We're gonna move towards our lizard pose. So that right leg is gonna move, and you're gonna bring the right foot forward in between your hands first, moving the left knee slightly back. And from there, You're placing the right hand on the inside of the right foot. That's your lizard. That's option one, pressing your hands down. Maybe you prefer to have blocks under your hands. So just see how it feels. You're creating some more space here. Maybe you want to lower down the forearms onto the blocks or onto the mat directly. Just make sure not to overdo it again. Remember that you have this hormone, the relaxing, that can cause overstretching, so that's not something that we want. So do something that feels good. Not putting too much pressure on yourself. Just finding that nice hip opener here. And we take a couple of breaths here. And if it feels nice, you can also bring some movement here in your lizard, moving your hips. So if you're on your hands, of course, in one direction and then in the opposite direction. And then for everyone pressing the hands down, we're sending that right leg back, finding our tabletop again. Again, doing anything that feels good before we go for the other side. And when you're ready, we meet in our tabletop again. This time the left leg is coming forward. You're going to bring the left hand on the inside of the left foot, moving the right knee slightly back. And see what works for you, using your blocks to support your hands or to support your lower arm. Just feeling for yourself, keeping your neck relaxed, your face soft, finding your version. And we take a couple of breaths. And again, on that side, feel free to add some movements, pressing your hands down and then starting to move your hips, drawing some circles with your hips in one direction and then in the opposite direction. Just observing, feeling for yourself what feels alright. And then we come back to center, pressing the hands down. We're sending the left leg back, removing our blocks here. And we find child's pose. So big toes together, knees widely apart. You're making space for your growing belly here. Relaxing your forearms down. Shoulders are soft. And from here, start walking your hands towards you, lifting the torso up. We're gonna release the sit bones onto one side so you can extend your legs in front of you. And we're gonna be onto the back, legs are bent. And we're gonna find our figure four. So you're placing the right ankle onto the left leg. Might be that you're staying here and that's it for you today. If you want an extra stretch, then you can have your fingers interlaced behind that left leg. So you can feel the stretch a little deeper at the back of your right leg and in your hips as well. Relaxing your shoulders. Eyes can be closed. Release our fingers, release our feet back onto the mat, moving your knees from side to side, or a gentle dynamic twist. And then we meet back in center. We're going for the other side, so bending that left leg, left ankle onto the right leg. Option to stay here, or option to have your fingers interlaced behind that right leg. You're gently pushing that right leg towards you, but releasing any tension in your shoulders. Closing the eyes. We're slowly releasing. Right foot goes down, left foot as well. You move your knees from side to side. And it's already the end of our practice for today, so we're going to finish in a fetal position. So use as many props as you need here to support your head, to support your legs, placing maybe a block or a cushion in between your legs and covering yourself nicely with a blanket to feel nice and warm. Take your time to feel comfortable, allowing the eyes to be closed. If you want to have your one hand onto the belly to build that bond and that connection with your little one, feel free to do so. Eyes are closed. This is your final resting pose for today. So try to relax fully here, staying in this resting pose for maybe 5-10 minutes, maybe falling asleep in this pose. Just taking a moment to let the benefits of your practice soak in. And I will leave you to it. I hope you have enjoyed this practice. Wish you a beautiful day. Thank you for joining.